Hey everyone, how is it going? So today we are having a little look at how to eliminate the enemy defense, and by doing this we're going to be using three core concepts: capturing pieces, luring them away, and chasing them away. And that'll all make sense as we go further along. Sorry if I'm looking a little bit dishevelled, I've come off a 12-hour night shift and I am a sleepy panda right now. But yeah, let's dive right into it. We're going to be starting with capturing. So let's have a little look at the position we have set up at the moment. Now you can see black has the 3 pawns against our 2. We have the rook and the bishop. He has the bishop and the horsey. Now you can see by the eval bar at the side, it is massively in white's favour. However, if we're not careful, black can definitely get themselves into a solid position there. It can be tempting looking at this position just to go straight for the check. However, you can see that eval bar just drops right down, and reason for that is once the bishop slides back, black's in a super solid position there. And yes, we are still at a slight advantage, 0.9 advantage, but we've dropped right down from 5.2 to 0.9. We've just made things a lot harder for ourselves. What we need to be doing is looking at eliminating their defense. So coming back, we can see that the horsey is currently protecting their bishop. So we need to eliminate the defense. Again, we are looking at captures for this one and to see how we can get ourselves into a better position. Now, you've probably already seen it. If you haven't, you can see we have our bishop right here. Bishop can come across, capture the horsey, puts him in check, which means that black is now forced to move his king. Normally what you're going to see is the king come across and just take the bishop like so, and that frees up our rook to come across and capture his bishop, leaving us in a completely winning endgame, assuming you don't do something absolutely catastrophic. There are other options for black, but none of them are particularly good. He could come down like so and try to defend his bishop, but again, we could just go ahead and capture the pawn if we wanted to, or we could actually just go ahead, get rid of our rook, let him take it, capture back, and then we have the 2 pawns against his 2 pawns. We also have the bishop, and it is a 38.1 advantage. It is completely winning endgame here for white. But we do have some other examples, so let's have a little look. So here we have another position. As you can see, we have the rook against their rook, both staring each other down quite scarily there. And we have our little horsey, he has his bishop there. Quite a lot going on here, and a couple of pawns going on as well. Now, again, you can see by the eval bar, it is hugely in black's favour, minus 8.4. But once again, we do have to be careful, because it can be very tempting to just go and just trade off pieces without giving it a second thought. People tend to see the rook staring down at theirs, and they're like, oh, well, if that comes down, gets me, then I'm in check. So they go ahead and they take it, and then once it takes back, look at that eval bar. It's gone from minus 8.4 to straight dead even, and it's gonna be difficult to win this. You're kind of just looking at possibly a draw, and that's from a completely winning position. So you may have seen it before, but following the exact example as before, we have this bishop is currently defending the rook there. So what we can do is hop up, pop him in check, once again forced to move, he goes ahead and takes, and then boom, massively winning for black. And these are the kinds of things we need to be looking for all the time. If you enjoy this kind of thing, by all means, please subscribe. We're nearly at 1,000, and that would be absolutely awesome to hit. But yeah, anyway, let's carry on. So let's step it up a notch. We're still looking at captures, and in this position, you can see we have the queens staring down at each other like that. We do have the bishop here kind of staring across. He's keeping our queen safe, but he also has his horsey defending his queen. Excuse me. So, following the same kind of principles before, if we were to go up and take his queen, we can see eval bars just drop down because it is very well defended. And now he is captured back and he's attacking our pawn there, and we now have to make a move. Yes, we can kind of come up and capture that, but again, we've lost a decisive lead and advantage there. So, following the same principles as before of eliminating the defender, we can use our bishop to capture. Now, if he was to say capture back like so, then clearly we've just gone and won a queen, and it is completely game over. More than likely what you're going to see is the queen come back down, and then we can just capture right back. And for our troubles, we have just gone and won ourselves, essentially, a free horse. And it is brought us up to a completely winning position there. Now, we'll look at one more example before moving on, just to try and really solidify this capturing kind of mentality. Right, this is the last position we're going to look at in regards to capturing. So let's have a little look at what we have set up here. As you can see, we have the two queens kind of staring down at each other there. We have the bishop pinning the horsey to the queen, and it is black to move. So I'll give you a second to pause it to try and work out what the best move is. Remember, the plan is eliminating the defense. So I'm going to assume you've paused it or you've already seen. Yeah, let's have a little look. Now, the best move is going to be, by far, queen capturing the queen. If you thought it was going the other way, capturing like so, have a little look at the eval bar. If we capture like so, boom. Things are very, very, very much in white's favour now, and we have lost our complete advantage. Best move, like I say, by far, was coming back and taking the queen, because the queen was the defender. Once that defender's now eliminated, king captures back, and we can then capture straight into check. And once again, it is just completely winning position for us. But yeah, I hope that kind of solidifies the idea of capturing to eliminate the defender. Next, we're going to move on to chasing away. So, chasing away. Basically, as the title says, what we're doing is chasing away the defender. So, as a very, very basic example, you can see this position here. We have our rook right there. He's kind of staring down like so. Clearly, we can't take that just yet because he is defended by the horsey. So what we want to do is to chase away the defender. We have these pawns here. Very, very simple. Push the pawn up. He's then forced to move or lose it. So let's just say he jumps down to here and he's attacking our rook there. We can then just quite happily come up, capture, and completely win an endgame for us. White really doesn't stand a chance. Let's have a look at another example. So let's come to this one here. So looking at this position here, you can see we have the rook is defending the horsey here, which we are currently threatening. Now we need to be chasing him away. Now we have our dark square bishop down here and we can come across to here, putting on a lot of pressure, forcing him to move out of the way. Now clearly we can't come down like so, putting him in check because we're just going to lose it because of his bishop there. So, like I say, we bring across our bishop to here and chase him away. Now, he can't move to here because clearly we're just going to go ahead and capture. He can't come across to here because, once again, we're just going to capture. So he's forced to move it out of the way. That just allows us to go ahead and essentially get ourselves a nice free horsey. Once again, we chased away the defender and won ourselves a nice piece. And last example on chasing away, because I think you pretty much get the kind of core concept here. We have this position. Once again, we have the rook defending the bishop. And what we want to be doing is chasing him away. Now, a lot of times in this kind of position, what people will be tempted to do is to jump up like so, but that blocks it off, and you can see back to an even position, because all he has to do is just jump this out of the way to something like c3, and yeah, we're no better off. However, if we jump the horsey the other way, chasing the rook out of the way, you can see these two squares are protected. The horsey is protecting this square, so he's forced to move the rook out of the way. Let's just say he brings it back, then we can swing up, go and capture ourselves the bishop, and once again, win ourselves the game. Right, like I say, I think that's enough on chasing away. We'll look at the last one, which is luring away. So for luring, you can probably imagine the core kind of concept that we're looking at. What we're trying to do is to lure that piece out of the way, kind of bring him away from the defense. So looking at this position here, what we're doing is identifying the defender, which is the bishop here, and he's currently defending the horsey, which we are looking at attacking. What we want to be doing is luring that defender out of the way. Now, give it a little pause, have a little look and see if you can work out what to do. I'm going to assume you've done it, and the best move by far is to go and push forwards the pawn. That is going to move this bishop out of the way, and yes, we are giving up the pawn, but in return, we go ahead and we get the horsey, that we're losing 1 point of material to then gain the 3 points, so that makes us 2 points in material higher. Happy days. Now, this is quite a fun position. As you can see, white has more pieces than we do, and better pieces. All we have is the queen, which is currently being stared at by their queen, and we have our rook in the corner there, whereas white has the rook, the queen, and the bishop. Normally, this would be terrible for black, but you can see by the eval bar, minus 4.3, it is in our favour. So, once again, give it a little pause, have a little think, what's going to be best to do? Now we can see that we have the bishop is currently defending the queen. If we were to just say go ahead and take the queen, he's just going to take back and it is game over. All we have is this guy here, and once he comes back and tries to do this, then boom, and it is game over. There's nothing we can do. The king is nice and safe there. There's very, very limited in what we can actually do now, and white is pretty much just won there. However, what we're doing is luring the piece away. Now, this guy is in a lovely position. If we ask to come down and go for that check on the back, he has pretty much no choice. He can't defend with the rook, because once we come back like so, we are now a rook up. He's got to then come back and block it, and we get the queen. Boom, we've just completely won. And we're also threatening mate in one there. However, if we come back and lure this away, boom, yes, we've gone and lost that rook. However, we now have a queen against a rook and a bishop, and we are going to win this. We have the pawn that's on its own there. We're going to be looking at pushing that down. We're going to be threatening all kinds of shenanigans. It is totally winning endgame now for us. Now, this one is a bit more of a tricky one. Once again, pause this, have a little look, and remember, we're using the key concept of luring the defender away. Again, I'm going to assume that you've done it. But yeah, let's have a little look at this position. As you can see, it is quite a busy position. There is a lot going on. And what we need to be doing is looking for the kind of key defenders. So let's have a little look. Now, his queen is currently defending this guy here, the rook here. We also have this staring down, which is going to be handy later on, but let's not worry about him for now. What we need to be doing is luring the defender away. So in this case, what we can do is take our rook and then go ahead and capture the bishop. Now you can see the queen is pinned to the king, essentially force them to take. That then allows us to go across and capture his rook. And this is completely winning endgame for black now, completely winning endgame. Not only have we got the rook and the bishop, and all it costs us is a rook, there's not too much that white can do, and also we are threatening this mate. Now you might be thinking, yes, he can come down and put us in check, but once we move this guy to block it, then what? You know, we're still threatening this mate in one. Yeah, you can come down and try and defend it, but then we can either just go right ahead and capture the horsey, or we could come up, put him in check, and then when he moves out the way, go back down, and look, it's game over, you know. But that is, you know, a fairly complex, complicated looking position there. Like I said, there's a lot going on, but once again, we're removing the defender, and once again, we are winning. And that is the kind of key concept of luring away. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, when it comes to looking at the defender of pieces, we have the three core concepts. We have captures, we have chases, and we have lures. Capturing the piece, chasing the piece away, and luring it away. Something to always bear in mind, especially mid-game kind of endgame. Like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop it a like, subscribe. Like I say, on the way to 1,000, and I really want to hit it. And if there's anything you want to see me cover, just put it down in the comments, and I'll try my best to cover it. But yeah, you dudes, peace out. Go off, have some fun, play some chess. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. I am going to bed.